Hey friends! Hope you're all doing super well. Before we get started, I just wanted to put a quick disclaimer on this video. While I did put a lot of research effort into this project, and I did make sure to use all of the correct names where I could find them, this project is not ran by bad people, at least in my opinion. And it doesn't mean that you have the right to go and start dogging on people for anything that they've done. I am giving this information to you guys so you can learn, so you can hear about things that I find interesting. Please, don't take it out on them. Let's get started. If you couldn't already tell by the fact that I came out of the gate with some Five Nights at Freddy's content, I'm a bit of the fan of the series, even if I am too scared of the games to fully play them. I'm a big enough fan to look into the fanverses and the adjacent games, like Tyken Sons, One Night at Flumpty's, Five Nights at Candy's, and the sort. So when I was scrolling through my Twitter feed back in August of 2022 and I saw this, I was absolutely hyped. Another FNAF-like project with very solid animation from the way it looks. Absolutely I'm in. I followed through the first announcement trailer and learned of KANDYLAND, what myself and so many others thought was going to be the next big thing. Everything was perfect. The design, the world building, the animation, which is still top tier to this day, and the slow rollout of content led to an opening that I can only describe as awe-inspiring. Anyone out there who followed along the journey knows just how promising this title could have been, and how disappointing it is to see where it is now. So, let's walk down memory lane together, shall we? I am Respect the Badge, and today I'd like to walk you through the wild ride that is KANDYLAND. From the team, to the characters, the development, the NFTs, and where we stand today. Get comfy, relax, and thank you so much for being here. So, for those of you who didn't just get violent war flashbacks hearing that name, let's start by learning about our team before we really dive into things. As found on candytime.site, a fan-made website to showcase the official project, I know, weird, the members of the team worth mentioning are 4 individuals. Hopper, our CEO, Finn, the Web3 and NFT manager, Slava from GOLDENLANE Studios, our main animator, and Kanga, our lead developer. Finding information on Hopper and Finn is luckily as easy as looking at the following page for KANDYLAND on Twitter. They're right at the bottom, and both have a little founder spot in their bios. For Hopper, there really isn't anything else aside from KANDYLAND. 3 scuffed crypto posts, and then we're right at Candy Kangaroo's introduction. Nothing there. For Finn, I believe this screenshot says all that you need to know about his mindset. Slava from GOLDENLANE, he's interesting. He's also known as Alex Portman, and goes by a few other names. He can be found on YouTube as Deviant Pictures Films, where he shows off his animation skills, as well as on GOLDENLANE's channel doing a few works for that team. The one not found directly through the following list in some way is Kanga. While following KANDYLAND, they don't follow him back, and I couldn't quite figure out why. Well, anyway, his Twitter has a total of 3 posts, and it's all KANDYLAND, so a bust there. But let's circle back to GOLDENLANE Studio for a second, shall we? The studio clearly had a vision of taking their animations already being done to the next level when joining the KANDYLAND dev team. This studio, or rather the sole man behind the madness, Roman Maltsev, has been making content for YouTube since back in January of 2014, where he used Source Filmmaker to make a 5-minute long Left 4 Dead animation, and it's clear from the start that he had a talent for the craft. The animation is honestly well put together, especially for a first attempt, and over the years the animation has gotten the 12 million views that it deserves. It's also clear from his content that he has been a longtime fan of the FNAF series, as animations using that IP make up a vast majority of his content. Although, giving credit where credit is due, he did attempt to branch out on a few occasions, creating content for Apex Legends and Siren Head, and the Left 4 Dead animation I already mentioned. At some point throughout the FNAF Animations run, he teamed up with 2 other skilled animators, Alex Portman, Slava from earlier, and, oh dear god, I'm gonna butcher this, Oleg Smolyaninov, to make a team that genuinely was something beautiful. They created quite a legacy together, but getting towards the end of 2022, it seems clear that they wanted to make something bigger. They teamed up with the others I mentioned, and before you know it, boom! The founders of KANDYLAND. One last guy, super not important, but wanted to give him a shout out, DJ Kenji. He's the community manager for the Discord and is also low-key their communications manager in general, and he seems to be doing great for the community. Everyone seems to absolutely love him, so good on him. Congrats. Anyway, now that you know about all the people who make up the show, let's see what they came up with. The process of making KANDYLAND into a reality began with a bit of reeling in an audience as the social pages were created. The first trace of KANDYLAND is actually one post before the one that I used in the intro, posted to Instagram and TikTok on July 20th of 2022. But for some reason, not the Twitter, which only got the post from August 19th that managed to make it to all three platforms. And speaking of the social medias for KANDYLAND, their Twitter account, yes, Twitter, I refuse to call it X. Also, the Twitter is not listed anywhere on the Linktree, which is super inconvenient, but anyway, is where most of everything happens, so I will be using it as my main source of post information moving forward. On August 20th, it all officially began. Meet Candy Kangaroo, the proud face of KANDYLAND, where nothing can go wrong. They also made the effort to tack a bit of character development on at the end, then wrapped it all up with the now infamous #NFT. And we're off! They further introduce him later in the first corruption trailer, and okay, can I just take a second to talk about this? So, technically, this post isn't the full trailer. The full thing was posted on the 21st of October through GOLDENLANE's YouTube, but they're the same thing. The other part got uploaded a couple days later. I don't know why they did it like this. Anyway, we begin with an opening shot of Candy, and he has an infected eye to show the audience that not only do these models look absolutely fantastic up close, but everything isn't quite right. After a flashy opening sequence and the title card, we get a good look at the sheer quality of this animation and a good look at our main man himself. He stays on stage long enough to welcome everyone to the show, dazzling them with his colorful designs, sparks, and overall showman-like demeanor. After taking his final bow, he returns backstage to his sleeping pod thing? No one else gets one, so I don't know, where he gets all of his updates. Then enters Mouseman, this series' main antagonist. After uploading every episode of the Talk Tua podcast into Candy during a system update, he genuinely starts tweaking. And after waking up from this newfound addiction, we are greeted with the first shot of the video again, and Candy makes his way back to the stage to welcome a new crowd. Now, with glowing red eyes, a twitchier Candy begins to welcome the crowd before his hatches start to open and he locks eyes with the camera. One dramatic cut to black and a logo roll later, that's the end. This animatronic intro video is one of 3 ever actually made currently, and it not only had the task of introducing Candy as his character, but also the identity of KANDYLAND itself. And Jesus, did it deliver! If I wasn't hooked before this moment, I certainly was now. Between how colorful and alive this world looked to the sound design, really the only thing I didn't care about was the weird Mouseman virus, but I was still super on board. And since it's his introduction video, now is no better a time than to take a quick look at him. Candy Kangaroo, everyone. He is classified as our main character, leader, and described as simply the proud face of the company. This design is absolutely fantastic, and I can't even begin to say it enough. The colors are all so vibrant and eye-catching, the gumball machine aesthetic, even the details like the peppermint cheeks and a little bow tie, although he does have a top hat, which made me think of another mascot horror animatronic. Anyway, he's super poppy, he's charismatic, and that's how he's supposed to be. In the next trailer, however, we get introduced to Susie's snack time. After a close-up shot, we cut to black and begin the trailer. This one takes a bit of a different approach to things, and after giving you the only screen time that Mr. Smiles has for a long time, it cashes in on more of Susie's personality. She's described as the beloved sweetheart and role model that everyone loves. Dear God, did they hit that one right. She's seen as a kid approaches her, alone, by the way, and she gives him a lollipop, then sends him on his way to say hi to Candy for her. Then a distant child's cry is heard, and holy shit, she's got Heelys, yo! After levitating over to the child's call, she finds a lone child and attempts to help her. Susie suddenly gets hit with the same virus as Candy and her mouth comes flying off. Sensing that something is wrong, Susie tries to warn the child to stay away, but it's too late. After an upsettingly long time of her rebooting, her red eye self takes hold, and as Susie grabs the mask from the child, cut to black. While this is probably my least favorite of the introduction videos, it does certainly do its job. It shows us that Susie is kind and compassionate, and I was very much in suspense for most of the interaction with the child, especially for that reboot sequence when she went completely still. Having watched so many horror movies, I expected some insane fast movement and a jump scare, but the team held off, which I am very, very glad they did. Also, did you even see that maskless design? They try to give this effect off with the other animatronics by having their mouths split apart, but there is just something about this image specifically that is absolutely terrifying to me for some reason. Although normally, she is portrayed as very cute and innocent, which we will heavily cover sometime later, so for this reason, I'm going to be bouncing over the rest of her design. I promise you'll hear all about her later. On to the third, last, and shortest trailer, we get my underrated boy, Tukey the Toucan. He's kind of the unloved child of this crew, being the only one with the least team votes for the Discord community, and hell, his intro cut isn't even close up like the other shots. It's corrupted Susie. But anyway, after that, we get shown our boy through falling cards, which is a super cool sequence, and he shows off his skills by throwing a card to blow out 3 candles and then back to himself before making it disappear and deploying his wings. He's got wings! He makes his cane appear out of thin air, and he is showered with confetti, as well as all 4 balloons for every character in the series. After proving to be the outstanding magician that he is advertised to be, he begins to head backstage where he encounters corrupted Susie. And that's it. They gave my man no love, no sympathy. They just kicked him to the curb with the content and called it a day. He really deserves a chance. His purple and orange color scheme is very unique, and he also has built-in tanks of slushy because he has a built-in machine. But the trailer would never tell you that, now would they? My man's trailer didn't even get a spot on the Twitter until like phase 3, come on! Speaking of the Twitter, that's where we meet our 4th character, Mr. Smiles. He's the mischievous trickster of the park, with extendable limbs to help him reach you anywhere. And that's about it. Good luck figuring him out. I guess you'll have to just check the Twitter, check the Discord, I don't know. So as you can see, this project has a lot of potential up to this point. The animatronics are well built and well designed. The team seems to be coming together and making something truly passionate. People are on board. They have the backing that they need. I wouldn't even blame you if you completely forgot that this was part of an NFT project to this point, because I sure did. But sadly, the team sure didn't. On February 2nd, 2023, KANDYLAND announced Phase 3 was active. Yeah, there's a phase system on the Twitter, apparently, but it's actually so stupid, and it doesn't help the story, except for in this exact moment, so just forget about it. Phase 3 marks the beginning of the end in my book, and it starts with a raffle of sorts to win a ticket to get into KANDYLAND. I have come to the assumption that these tickets were meant to be access keys to the official website before it opened, which is still to this day only crypto, having you need to connect a wallet to enter the website. You can make Candy jump scare you though, so I guess that's pretty cool. After the raffle, we hit what I find to be the most interesting part of this whole mess. The KANDYLAND Manifesto. A 10-part post and Twitter thread explaining the KANDYLAND way. Let's walk through it, shall we? Slide 1 is the vision, and it essentially boils down to, we are making every effort into making NFTs, and we also kinda wanna make video games and videos off of it. Slide 2 is talking about only GOLDENLANE Studio, the main animation company from earlier. It's only talking about how cool the studio is, nothing about KANDYLAND other than that company being fundamental and a core pillar of the team. Bet Roman and Slava felt fantastic reading that slide. Slide 3 is only talking about their own success, saying that they've gotten really popular really fast, and that means that they can make a Web3 ecosystem. God, this is all so stupid to think it's real. Good lord. Slide 4, again, is about their own success, stating how well the animated series has done, and it, quote, demonstrates the enormous potential. But that's not the only thing that's used to show its potential. Slide number 5. Susie Snack Time Case Study. See, the team found that Susie was extraordinarily popular with everyone, so they made her a YouTube channel, which sadly is very dead now, and started pushing her content hard. In under 60 days, she had amassed 250,000 subscribers on her own and over 70 million views. The team knew of her popularity from the very beginning, and you can see it. Back in Phase 1, there was a post showing off over 2 million impressions on Susie's post, and the post kind of got dogged on by the community for not having a lot of likes or engagement, but the team knew. They built her with pastel and bright pinks and blues, gave her the most human face of all, a perky grin, and heart eyes? Like, really? Come on. Even imperfections on the faceplate to make it look like she has freckles. They were banking on her success, and you know what? They got it. I still cannot believe that Susie Snack Time Case Study is A, real thing I have said, B, something in my search history, and C, something that I can just talk about. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's why Tukey didn't get his trailer spotlight. God damn. Slide 6 is an updated list of the team that I mentioned before. GOLDENLANE, Hopper, and Finn are all still there as before, but Slava is now assumedly under the GOLDENLANE identity, and Kanga has been replaced by Higher Levels, an NFT company that released a project called KPR in 2023 to moderate success. I think I found the reason Kanga isn't followed by KANDYLAND anymore. Ooh. Slide 7 is discussing the art of the characters and how each animatronic has not only their own personalities, but the animations for the NFTs themselves would be unique, dynamic, and custom, which they did live up to. Slides 8 and 9 discuss opportunities with expanding the IP and even saying that they would like to make a gaming experience. They also say they want to explore VTuber opportunities and sponsorship deals, which, spoiler alert, didn't really end up working out. Finally, Slide 10. Which states that they won't just slide out of the spotlight overnight and that they want to educate the general public about the possibilities of Web3 with unique and engaging experiences that are fun. After this, they hard banked on their current popularity by announcing the first NFT mint and their game trailer, which was not specified as a game trailer yet, within 3 days of one another. As much as I hate to say it, they did really, really good. The first batch of NFTs sold out in 3 minutes, and they topped the charts of OpenSea for a time. And then, suddenly, seemingly out of absolutely nowhere, it all just stopped. No major updates on any of the platforms, just casual posts, get wrecked post in 2023, which is wild. Then some low-effort short-form TikTok posts to keep engagement up. Then on December 16th of 2023, something changed. After all the waiting and praying from fans to get something new and something fresh since the NFTs, a Season 1 of something would be happening. By now, myself and many others wrote the project off as an NFT cash grab on a grand scale, but this right here is the very thing that could bring it all back. All they had to do was get it right. On January 4th, the trailer drops, announcing that the series would be dropping in Q1 of 2024, so the wait would be very, very minimal. 7 episodes at 3 to 4 minutes apiece? I mean, count me in. Let's see what all we got in Q1. Okay, maybe Q2?
No.
Oh no. So, yeah, Remember how I said that the team was banking on her success before? Well, now they really were, as she became the complete and total face of the company. Every post has her in it in some way from February 12th to present day, except for one 1-minute long video about Mr. Smile and Mouse Man that is maybe lore? But in this, he's trying to fix Candy, and Mr. Smiles is already infected, but that might not even matter because apparently he's the main bad guy in the game coming out. I have absolutely no idea. What I do know is that people are not happy. No Season 1, no new posts outside the TikToks that look like they took 30 seconds to make, or a Susie popularity bait. They even stooped low enough to post this. And to this day of recording, there is still not a release date on Steam, although it does still have a page. The official YouTube channel has 4 videos on it, and you'll never guess who's in it. Hell, GOLDENLANE has given the IP more love, and that team isn't even a part of the social or communications department. The closest thing to being alive is the Discord, where they— Hey friends, editing Brighton in the future here at 12:30 in the morning. Scrolling through the Discord, which I was about to talk about, I was getting ready to say that they posted behind-the-scenes things and still give out announcements every now and again, but the behind-the-scenes stuff that I was getting ready to talk about seems to have completely disappeared from the Discord. I think it's because the most recent post that I was getting ready to talk about was talking about a trailer that was getting ready to come out. So I don't really know what's going on there, and I had to cut out like a good 5 or 6 minutes. But know that Discord was supposed to be where everything was going on nowadays. But now I've got no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. So yeah. Sorry! Okay, bye. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. And that, my friends, puts us where we are today. An NFT project that had so much going for it, so much potential, a great IP, a great team, and genuine support from its fans. If this passion and level of creativity went into something other than a stupid NFT project, we would have had the next FNAF on our hands. I fully believe that this project had and still has so much potential to be a generational level of impactful if only the right people had thought of it. They still are doing NFT giveaways on Discord, but I am part of the overwhelming majority that sadly has left this project behind. I still hold hope in the back of my mind, but really, if they do another announcement for the game actually coming out, I expect it to be met with backlash and accusations more than support, not saying that it deserves any. But I would be near the first in line if the game ever does come out, and I absolutely love what they could do with the IP if they ever felt like it. And speaking of the Discord, I have one final treat for everyone who managed to stick around this long. I have a bit of a personal history with KANDYLAND and its Discord. You see, this IP had me wrapped around its finger so badly that I wanted to be a moderator for the Discord channel. It was a momentary lapse in judgment, I admit, but still, it is kind of hilarious to look back on, as Discord saves all of your messages from a server, even if you leave it and come back. With this information, I found out that I was on the front lines of the server. It was made on the 29th of November, and I showed up on December 4th back in 2022. I was there long enough to see what I like to call the purge. See that I was talking about non-safe for work stuff? That's because a little bit of a raid happened before management got comfortable. It all went down in a channel called Funhouse on the server on the 4th, and funny enough, if you look for messages sent in a channel before the 5th, a whole lot of nothing. Now, I can't fully say what all went down in there, but trust 2022 me when I say that it was a whole lot of ugly. Slurs, adult images, I was really spot on when I said it looked like a 12-year-old's meme folder in there. But luckily they got it under control. On the 5th, when I stopped seeing stars in my eyes and I realized how dumb these messages looked, I promptly left the server. Not important to the story, but if you're around for this long, you absolutely deserve to know. So, with that, my friends, we have reached the end of this adventure, and there's still one really big question lying around. Was this all a big NFT scam? If you look at the evidence, it could be said so. They advertised it from the beginning, and it was their business model, and now they're trying to hold on to their popularity with quick grabs at the spotlight with a popular character, sure. But on the other side of that coin, there is an outstanding level of effort put into this. As much as I hate NFTs, they animated every single one, although not by hand, they used live animation techniques, but still. Plus, I wouldn't have complimented the animation so much if they weren't so well crafted. They actually look the best that I've seen in a very long time. The animations, the voice acting, sound design, character design, world building, I mean, it all came together to create a project that, in my opinion, deserves a second chance if they can just get their heads out of their asses and see past the cash grab corner that they've backed themselves into. Plus, if what they say is true, Slava has been putting in much less work than hoped, and on top of that, the delays they've been facing, one crucial member who is unnamed had to step away for personal reasons as of September of this year. I'm not saying go running back to them, but they seem like they're trying. But don't worry, if something crazy happens, I'm gonna stick around in the Discord, so I'll make an update video or something. Thank you all so much for watching. This one was for sure a little longer than the others, and I put a lot more research into putting it together, so I must say thank you for sticking around long enough to finish this effort. This was a bit of a yap session, but I guess I did warn you guys in the description of the channel. Thank you all so much for pushing me to the 10,000 mark, and I promise the special will be out as soon as it can be. I have been Respect the Badge, and I am gonna go get Susie Snack Time out of my search history. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will hopefully see you very soon. Bye!